Alright, so Demiurge is here from the Overlord collab. This is the outfit I'm gonna be rocking him, by the way, but this is the base. It's like the suit. I thought this was the best looking one. In any case, he looks very, very OP. Let's hop on. This is the team we're gonna be using, at least at first. We'll test the waters, but this is the team we're using because he is technically an unknown character. You can see right here, but he is actually essentially a demon. Because in his passive, he's considered a demon. So his passive, I'm going to read off the other monitor here, transitioned by Kane. Let me get in game, and then I'll show what he does as we talk, because I think that will work out better. Okay, we got an Arthur human team. I don't know why I specified that. Obviously, the human team is going to be Arthur. So, he debuffed everyone, right? In a few ways. Right here, there's a gray debuff called mind control, and then these other debuffs. So let's start off by doing this, right? Boom, boom, boom. I'm just gonna do some Gelda stacking in this first turn. That's not bad damage for first turn. What? Wait a minute. wait a minute. That gray debuff is called Mind Control, which decreases damage by 30%, and enemies that have this cannot target him. So Ascanor cannot single target him. Most importantly, Thor cannot single target him if they have that debuff. And to debuff, he will guarantee debuff Mind Control the enemy with the highest attack stat in the enemy team. So Ascanor is going to be 100% of the time going to be under this influence, right? So he's going to be damage lowered. Even though he can't be attack lowered, he will be damage lowered. All right. Melee can just remove the stance, and then Demiurge should just kill right here, no problems. Let's see. Okay, he doesn't kill. I was hoping he would kill, but to be fair, he did have Percival, which is very, very strong. So he decreased damage by 30%, and also any enemy that has lower attack stat than him gets mind control. So he's gonna mind control the entire team. Like, he has very high attack stat. His attack stat, I don't know if you saw before we started, is higher than Melee's, a UR festival. I don't know if he's higher than Ascanor, and maybe we should compare. I don't think it matters, because Ascanor is always gonna be the highest attack stat anyways. So to me, I don't think that even like, I don't think that even matters, right? Also, you saw the red debuffs he does. Those are essentially ignites, but they're called Flare Prison Flames, which is damage 15%, increases damage taken by 15%, instead of 10, which is what ignites does. It's sort of like a pseudo Kyo, but a little bit better than Kyo in that way. Because, yeah. He increases the basic stats of all allies by up to, he increases damage. I'm confusing him with Narbera right now. I just read both of them before recording. He increases the damage dealt from demon allies by 5% up to 40 for each one of these debuffs. So everyone's mind controlled. They can single target Vitor can single target him. Do I want to do like I think I do. You know what? I think I'm going to do the exact same thing. Because I like, whenever I use Gelda, I really like doing this triple AoE, because then she's essentially maxed in the first turn. Look at this damage. Demons is back, baby. It is funny because I'm using Nanashi in the back, right? Because Nanashi is giving 30% basic stats to both Demiurge and Gelda, because they're both unknowns that also count as demon race. It's pretty funny. The thing is, right? Demons in Grand Cross essentially can only be the demons, the highly specific demon race from the 7 Deadly Sins series, right? It's like highly specific, which is unfortunate because obviously Demiurge should have been a demon. He should not be unknown. So it should have been Gelda. Gelda should have been a demon. She should not be unknown because vampires are a branch of demons, right? But they're not a pure demon, I guess. So they gave her unknown and then was like, but by the way, she's also a demon. I mean, just give her demon, right? At that point, just give her demon. But in any case, it works out well for both of these characters because unknowns just so happen to have the best back in the game, you know? It just so happens. You know, let's save some Demiurge cards. I kind of this time let's do this, right? We're gonna AoE. We're gonna single target. I don't wanna remove from Escanor right there, but I'm just gonna do this, right? I want to save the Demiurge cards this time because I want to see his AoE go crazy. Sorry, I couldn't finish his passive. His passive is long. Yeah. Increases allies' basic stats by 5% and decreases damage taken by 10% per demon ally. I don't know if he counts, but if he does count, that's 15% basic stats and 30% damage reduction. So not only you're lowering the enemy damage by 30%, you are also decreasing damage taken by 30%. That won't stop Melee from dying through an Escanor level 3, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. What can you do about that? Let's do this. Yeah, let's see this damage. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Especially because it could have been much more. It could have been much more. I'll explain. So, also, at the start of the ally's turn, he applies this Flare Prison's Flames. He applies 2 of them. One from the passive and one from the relic. For 2 turns. And when the enemy attacks an attribute disadvantage, when he's attacking in attribute disadvantage, so he's attacking red to blue, he increases damage by 50%. So against melee here, we're increasing damage by 50%. So he's essentially doing a little over type neutral. It's not exactly type advantage, but it is like getting there to type advantage. Whenever an enemy uses a debuff card, they get HP lowered by 30%. Max HP lowered. So not that many characters right now that are meta use debuff cards. The one character I can think of that will be like very, very, very handy having this is Arthur. Arthur's AoE debuff, the moment he does it, he's gonna be HP lowered by 30%, which is huge for Arthur, getting HP lowered like that. So that's just his passive. It took me this long to talk about his passive and his relic. I guess the relic is essentially part of his passive. With collab units, they drop the relic with the character, so for a lot of characters, right, like Nanashi, he has a stupendously good relic, and that I would attribute to the relic. Because he dropped in, what, 2021? It was January 2021? And his relic didn't drop until, what, 2023? Or is it 2022? Doesn't matter. So, he got a massive boost from the relic. Demiurge, I wouldn't say it's the same, like, idea, because he drops, and on the same day that he drops, he has a relic. So the relic is an extension of him, right? Like, it was pre-planned with the unit what the relic would be day 1, so whatever. It's just a long explanation to say that, you know, that was just his passive, right? So his cards, the single target, this one, does double crit chance, which, by the way, we'll be using him with gear in a second. He does double crit chance. I think attack crit for him is the best because he has already 150% crit chance. So he's a 300% crit chance with the single target. And for each Flare Prison Flame, which is why I'm saying like, oh no, we could wait and he'll do more damage. He does plus 80% damage. So if you wait like a couple of turns and they have like 6 stacks. So Asker right here has 4 stacks. Let's do the single targets on him. Just one single target is going to kill, but... Yeah, the plus 50% damage on type disadvantage right there. Yeah, 300k level 1 on ungeared. The difference in damage from being type advantage, obviously, against Escanor, but also the extra stacks of flare is pretty significant, you can tell. By the way, I say like this is the team we're using right now. I think that this team might end up being the most used, but I do like the idea of this character. Of this character with Assault Meliodas. I think that would be funny to see. I don't care about the counters that much. He's 30% up to 60% damage lowered, so... Dude, look at the damage to Chalbedo. Turn 1. What? Okay. Type disadvantage. I mean, type disadvantage for him doesn't matter, right? It legit doesn't matter. Because he's doing plus 50% damage type disadvantage. So his AoE is 3 times damage to debuffed enemies. They're always going to be debuffed because his passive literally debuffs at the beginning of turn. So, anytime he attacks, they're going to be debuffed. Let's see this on a pretty tanky Albedo. How much damage it does. Not even going to move her stance or anything. Would you say that's good? Would you say that's good damage? Yeah, 3 times damage to debuffed enemies, and plus 50% damage to enemies that have mind control, which, mind you... Aw, you kidding me? Wait, I want to say his ultimate. Hopefully he doesn't remove again. I don't have another card for him. He deleted the card. Whatever. Which, mind you, they're always going to have mind control, because the enemy of the highest attack, so that would be the enemy that actually out-attacks him, is going to have mind control. And then anyone that doesn't out-attack him is going to have mind control. And his attack is one of the highest in the game. So he's going to be winning against essentially any character. Let me actually compare this. So you can see right here, he has more attack than melee. And I'm using Sauriel Link, which is lowering my attack stat, because that's a terrible link. So is Tormiel in terms of stats. So I think it's a fair comparison. He has more attack than melee, right? Let's see Escanor. So let me put on Escanor. I'm going to make the exact same situation for him. He has more attack than Escanor. Come on. Come on. Let's take him on geared real quick. I want to see the damage we're going to be looking at. Do I change the team? I think it's good as is. We could do some shenanigans for sure, but I think I want to keep it as is. Alright, so I was checking here, right? Demiurge, oh, I have HP defense on melee, but I guess I just have to trust me, has more attack than both melee and, you wouldn't guess it, Escanor. He has more attack than Escanor. Crazy. So, I mean, even if, and I mean, I don't know if you will, but you might, even if you use HP defense on Demiurge, I think you're pretty confident you're always going to be mind controlling the whole enemy team. It's pretty crazy. It's a 30% damage reduction for free like that. On a character that's not even just damage, because you think, like, the Tower of God collab. We had Yuri, which was probably the best character from the collab, in PvP. I think in general, Bomb has her beat. You know, longevity-wise, I think he's still good and she isn't, so. But in any case, right? Like, in terms of PvP, she was probably the best character in the collab. And she's just a damage reduction character. That's all she does. All that she's providing to your team is damage reduction. Demiurge, he does the damage reduction for free, right? Essentially, like, you're not doing much to get this damage reduction. And then on top of that, he's providing with more damage, 40% damage max. He himself is a crazy damage dealer. He protects himself, because I'm assuming he's a more flimsy type of character. Like, he is no Gelda, right? So they're going to have to attack either Gelda or Melee. Melee is, as we saw from, you know, being one-shotted by Escanor, not the tankiest of the bunch at this moment in time. So maybe, this is what I'm thinking, like, Melee might not be the character that ends up being the meta with Demiurge. We'll see. It might be Assault Melee. You never know. It might be Assault Melee. It might be Demon King. It might be Demon King because he has damage cap, right? You have Demon King with Tarmiel Link. And I mean, listen. I think this character's pretty OP. A lot of people saying they're gonna skip the collab because they don't like Overlord. First of all, have you watched it? It's pretty good. I've only read a little bit of the manga, so I'm not caught up or anything, but it's pretty good. I would say in terms of IPs that we've collabed with, is one of the best. So I think it's much more fun than playing with some trashy OC. Alright. It's just the damage reduction that you get so free is just crazy to me. Because, I mean, I'm going first, right? Every one of these matches I'm going first, so obviously I'm demolishing with this super high DPS team. But even if you're going second, you have Gelda, which is a super tanky character. I think Melee is improving my points very well. Maybe I should replace Melee with a different character, but I like keeping him right here. You have Gelda, you have Melee. Two very good characters alongside him. You're giving them 60% damage reduction. I need to know if like he counts for his passive. Maybe it's just 50. But still, like, that's just free damage reduction. Turn 1! It's not like Yuri where you had to like attack them, to put the Thorns on them. No, it's just turn 1, the battle starts, you have 60% damage reduction. Like, that's really it. And then Melee, that's dupe dependent, but with his ultimate, you're getting another 15% damage to single targets. I don't know, man. This character is pretty crazy. This character is pretty crazy. And that's the quality I expect from collab characters. Because we saw Fitoria. Fitoria was nuts. So I'm like, okay. Next collab we get, there better be some nuts characters. I feel like Tower of God was a big disappointment in character quality because of Zahard. Like, Yuri was good, but she wasn't the cool kind of good. You know what I mean? Like, there's good support characters like Yuri, like Emilia back then, like Goddess Liz back then. Or I'm trying to think some annoying characters to prove my point. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, there's good characters, and then there's good characters that are fun to play with. Cool, good characters like Demon King Melee, like you see him do 1,000,000 damage. Damage is really like a fun thing to see. Like, there's cool characters like Askenor, there's cool characters like I don't want to say Gelda. Gelda's not... Listen, Gelda is good, she does a lot of damage, but playing against Gelda, when Gelda dropped, it was hell, bro. Gelda versus Gelda matchups were just terrible. They were just a slog. In any case, yeah, I like the design of this character. I think they cooked. I think they cooked. I hope Narbera is also good. I haven't tried her yet. You know, this is the first video that's going to be coming out. It's Demiurge. Dude, turn 1, I was not expecting him to be doing this much damage. I really was not. That is so crazy. The extra damage from the enemies having mind control. And on top of it, dude, that's nothing. What? She has the thing as well. What? Does she not have gear? There's no way she has gear, right? There's no way she has gear. She does. What? Does Melee kill here? Because I want to do the Demiurge attack on Thor. You better kill Melee. Good, good, good. Yeah, she has the stacks on them to increase damage, I forgot. With Nanashi passive, by the way. With Nanashi passive. Thor head. Yeah, you're increasing the damage with the ignites and with the Holy Relic. She had like 4 ignites, right? So that's 60% increased damage plus 40. That's 100% increased damage. Obviously increased damage and damage reduction, and then we have 50% from the passive, from the fact that he had type disadvantage. Characters do so much, man. You're like, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing this. He just won't stop doing things. I don't know. I think we're gonna have an extended showcase for him tomorrow. Today I'm gonna focus on doing Narbero's showcase after this. Get that out. I can't wait to try him out for a whole hour. This is one of those characters I want to just sit down and play with. Yeah, he looks fun.